Hey guys, in today's video, you are going to be listening to Brooke's sexy voice. I really feel okay, but my voice is just struggling, especially yesterday when I went to the thrift stores, went to an estate sale. I would go to talk and tell you about an item that I picked up, and my mouth would be moving, but no words would be coming out. So it was really a lot of work to get sound out of my voice. Today, that part is a lot better, but I feel like now I'm getting some head congestion. So we are on the floor because I listened to a podcast this week talking about posture and flexibility and how you need to be getting up and down off the floor and sitting a little bit, and that will help your body. So even though I work out, I don't necessarily have the best posture, nor do I ever spend any time on the floor. So enough chit chat, let's go thrifting.
Oh my goodness, look at this horse painting. It's on canvas and it is so good. There's a little black mark there, but I'm hoping I can erase it. It is $20, but I don't care. It's freaking gorgeous. This clock isn't bad for $5. It's a Seth Thomas. It says something about Japan there at the bottom, but I think it's a little bit too new. I don't like the paneling here on the back. $10. This is nice and big. Okay, I think this is supposed to be a bunny, but gives me bat vibes. This one is like a new version of whatever it is that's popular. I can't think what it's called. This is another kind of cool picture. They've got $20 on it. Let's see what it says on the bottom. Red Wing, maybe? These are kind of cool, but I think there's a chip there. But I like the color. And then there are actually two of these molds. Just to me, they feel newer. This one's 99 cents, and there is a hole so you can hang it. And same over here on this one. This one's $1.99. That's chipped right there. Okay, so I tried to come to Animal Lifeline thrift store earlier this week. I haven't been here in forever, and I guess their hours are now Wednesday through Saturday, so they were closed that day. And I would say they've been taking down Christmas because it's pretty sparse up here. On the upper level, they a lot of times have their what they call antiques and or seasonal things, like getting ready here for Valentine's Day. And then on the lower level, they have like all their other donations. So we'll see what we find. This is really pretty. And I'm not seeing any chips. There's some air pockets there, and some gold is off on the bottom. I guess some top of her head, but $12. Yeah. Just not really sure what the margin's gonna be. Too bad this doesn't have any of the old photos in it, because it is in really good condition. A lot of times when they take the photos out, it seems all these little matte papers get ripped. This is the lower level, and it's another thrift store that has totally changed their layout. So I picked this up. I wish it was all white instead of the tea leaf pattern, but it is an ironstone marked piece. It's only $3, but I am weird, and this is the only thing that I found in the store. I'm not like goo goo gaga over it. I've spent plenty of money today, and so since it's the only thing, I'm probably just gonna put it back on the shelf. Do you do things like that, or would you just go ahead and buy it? Oh my goodness, look at this little pig. He's so cute. I don't think he's solid brass because he's not that heavy, but $19.95. Okay, so the first thing that caught my eye in this booth was these brass candlesticks, and that's it. I read it wrong. $67 for the pair. Because then I came over here and saw this hand, and it is $40, and I thought the brass candlestick said $7, and that $40 I was like, this booth is all over the place, but it's just because Brooke can't read. That's a cool one. So these seem like they're priced really well because that looks like an old hat pin, and I think that there's $2 on it. There's one on these black ones, and I think I have some of those on the website, and then this green one is pretty, and it's $2. This is beautiful. Well, it's holding those books, maybe not. But heavy brass, beveled. It's got a kickstand. What else does it say? Omaha something art and glass. And I looked at the price and I forgot already what it said. $69.95. I like these handmade wooden bowls with the live edge, done by Twin Oaks Designs. These two are probably my favorite. And then when I was looking at those, I saw these cute little napkin holders. You've got a hen, a rabbit, a duck, and a pig, and they are $19.95. It's just a print, but it is beautiful. And check out that frame. $89. Okay, I'm not sure why, but I am attracted to this. I think, excuse me, maybe just because it's natural colors. It says you're rockin' floral ceramic for $10. Whatever you're rockin' means. What do you think? Anything with horses is cool, and this one has a horse head. It's $21. Not really sure about the rest of the body. Made in England, and it says wood on it. Well, I love green, so of course I like this. It's $20, and it says painted desert pottery. You can see there was probably some styrofoam in it with the plant at one point. But this booth has quite a bit of pottery, unique pieces. I've mentioned bows being popular. This one caught my eye for $7. Does have a little bit of discoloration there, but I like it. Kind of looks like a silver plate bow. It's got powder. I mean, what are the odds that I find another one? This one definitely feels chalkware. It does feel different than the other one at the thrift store, but it is also $12, and we're at an antique mall. Okay, what is this table? It has a wooden lid on it, a copper insert. Is it a sink? And that's leather. 2 trays underneath it. It says vintage table with copper planter and leather top, $350. That's interesting. Tell me down in the comments what was that used for, because I don't believe it was a planter. These are cute. I love the brass ducks. $38 for the bookends. Super cute. This is a Broadenbach's booth, and she's got 50% off here for a while. I know she shared it on her Instagram account. She is definitely one to follow. She has a very curated look, and it is so cool. Different than mine, but I mean, some pieces would transfer over, but I mean, just wow, you gotta take a look at her account. So this caught my eye, and this booth is 55% off, and this, once I looked it up, it's actually supposed to be a lamp, and the light bulb went right here, so I'll put a little thing in so you can see. So it's $30, so it would be down to less than $15, but there is a little chip on the tail. Now this caught my eye just because I consider it a crazy quilt, even though you're not seeing any of the stitching. It does have some, you know, the satin's coming off. It has some pins and some presidential pins, and it is $20 but 55% off, so it'd be less than $10. I don't know what I would do with it, but it definitely calls my name. This is $75, but I like it because they took and did all of the receipts and then just framed them out so you can see them, because the penmanship is actually gorgeous and is like a piece of art. So I love this repurpose. So this piece caught my eye because of the hand painted detail, and then the lid is like, I don't even know, puff paint. for lack of a better term. They are calling it a jam holder, I think is what it said. So flowers are just on one side. Says jam servers or whatever you want. When I look it up, it's saying salt and pepper, but none of them are quite like this. And it's $8. Now this is super fun. This bookend chalkware dog for $26. And then his face is turned this way. I think that's cute. This seems really good. A carved wall hanging. It's heavy. And they have $10 on it, I think it said, for 50% off. $20, so it'd be $10. Look at this. How crazy. They have like a bell with a nut ringer and a bowl. I've seen different pieces. I can't remember if I've seen a bowl, not a pedestal bowl, but a bell too. Wow. One kind of coordinates with the one I just picked up. Different kind of stand, and it's a person instead of animals, but it has a nice, her favorite path, it has a nice stand, so you can hang a door stand, and it's $40. Gosh, look at this. It is a salesman sample of a burial vault. So this is the lid, that's brass, plastic, and then here is the coffin, essentially. How crazy. I really like this collection of corkscrews and bottle openers in this little, I don't know, kind of like a candy dish, apothecary jar. I think I should copy that. Okay, I really like this painting. And actually, it is just a painting on a board, and it is $20. I really like the one I got with the horse better this morning. I love these paper punches, but I really just collect the ones that are horizontal. I don't know, this one's $20. I'm not really sure with that plastic thing in the middle. I just got something very similar to this, only I don't think as many feet. I think it's just 3. I think I got it for $4. This is $12.99, but you can put a bowl or a plant here. This one next to it's really pretty. It looks like it's missing, must have been a pedestal maybe. $12.99, but you can do something like that. So more examples of why this is my least favorite St. Vincent de Paul. This is $18.99. You have this horse for $38.99. It was probably a TV lamp. And then we have these wood carved vases, $9. I mean, it's just kind of everything here. $16.99 on the bird on the cactus. So I was gonna get this because it's horse related. However, it is $24.99. And I looked up these pans, and I could probably sell them for $30, but it's just not necessarily my style, so I'm gonna let somebody else grab them. So on this shelf, we have a ton of crucifixes. We have this cross for $7.99. We have this plastic, I don't even know what it is, for $7.99. Well, maybe it's not missing a goblet. And then all of these, we've got $3.99, $2.99. Somebody must have donated their stash. Part of me wants them because it would make a great collection to sell online. We used to have a little picture with this guy on it. $2.99.
So it is the next day, and I have about an hour before I have to go to a wrestling meet. Everybody is already there, so the house is quiet. And I wanted to show you what I picked up specifically at the estate sale, and then I will also show you what I picked up thrifting. Now, this estate sale, I've never been before. It was held by Tangerine Zebra. They are out of Ames, but they do the Des Moines area as well. And they've had ones before that I would have liked to have gone to, but it just doesn't work out in my schedule. This one worked out where I could go to it, and they ended up doing numbers. So the estate sale started at 11 and the numbers were handed out at 9. I got there probably about 8:30, maybe 8:20, and I was the 9th person in line, really the 10th, because another wife was sitting in a car. So that includes couples. I was pretty happy about that. I really went for 3 pieces. There were 2 alabaster bird baths that they showed in the pictures and in the little video that they did, and then also like a wicker rattan owl vase. And I've had the alabaster bird baths before, and many of you have messaged me like, hey, I want one. Will you get some more? Well, you never know what you're gonna find, right? So I did get some more, but that was the whole reason I went there. So that's why I was so early to get a number, because I wanted to be in there. I watched the guy's video so that I knew exactly where my items were. Luckily, all 3 of my items were literally within a foot of each other, and I could have gotten the owl vase, which online it was going for like a couple $100, but I thought that was stupid. So they had it priced at 30, and I just thought 30 is way too much for something that may or may not be a couple good comps that I saw. So I left it, but I did get the alabaster bird baths, which turned out I think are broken. You'll have to watch and see if you think they come like that or don't. Like, I'll show you when we get to those. But all that to be said, that they had numbers, but they let everybody in at the same time. So you just went in order, and there were probably at least 75 people in the house at once. It was literally shoulder to shoulder people. You couldn't even move. I had bags with my stuff that I could grab and wanted, but you couldn't see anything and you couldn't move. And I really wanted to go through the house a second time or a third time, but still, even after I'd gone through one time, it was still shoulder to shoulder people, because although people had left, new people had came. And so that was probably the most disappointing thing about the whole event for me, was that they just let too many people in. I mean, you can't even shop. I would have bought more things, so it's not like it would have had an impact on their sales. It was just too many people. So I wanted to film a little bit. I thought I would film on the second or third pass, but I didn't even do a second or third pass because literally people were touching me at all times. And a lot of times when you go to an estate sale, there's like crowds of people in certain rooms, but then you can go to another room where it's like you and somebody else. Not in this house. It was crazy. So let's see what I got at the estate sale. Those alabaster bird baths that I was talking about. So this is the little one that I got, and it was only priced for $8. So this one I know is broken because the base of the pedestal, you can tell just from looking at it. And this is about the size of the other ones that I've had over the years. So I'm just gonna glue that back on. I really like E6000 glue, but I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of research to make sure that that's a good one to do on marble. And this one does have all 4 birds. However, Brooke broke one. One tail came off. So when I had it in my cloth bag, it must have gotten smashed. And so I'm probably gonna glue that back on and then just disclose it in the listing. It is not gonna be a deal breaker because these are just so popular right now. This is the big one that I got, and here is its pedestal base. But I can't tell if it's like that, you know, designed to be like that, or if it's supposed to be attached, or if it's supposed to be taller and something got broke off. I can't tell. And I'm not gonna glue it because I think for safety purposes in shipping, it will be better to not be glued. And then it just sits in there perfectly, so it doesn't even need to be glued. This one also had all 4 birds, and the birds are not in there very well. So on the bottom of the bird's belly, is a little piece of metal, and then it goes into these little holes, which sometimes they'll come out and sometimes they won't. So these are all, you know, technically loose, but this was $26, and I just wanted to show you how big it is. So this one, I haven't had one this big, and $26, my husband was like, what? Like, why would you spend that much? And it's like, honey, these are worth like a couple $100s. So this, I was super excited to get, but I would be curious if you think it's broken, or do the big ones come like this? Now, I always find it funny how you find something one place and then you find it again. So like that Bride's Bank flower frog crown that I found 2 of them just in the last month. That's crazy because I've never even seen them before. This, I think these are Viking glass, but I'm not really sure how you tell. It's hand blown, I'm pretty sure. This green one is easier to see than the amber one that I just picked up. So there is an amber one listed on the website already. This green one was $2. I love green, and so of course I had to pick it up. And these are pretty valuable, so I knew I could make a profit on it. This is a pewter dish with the beautiful handles. What are those? Tulips maybe? And on the back it says Neck, N-E-K Rassoff, N-E-K-R-A-S-S-O-F-F. But it is a pewter, and it looks like it's been hand hammered. You can kind of see all the little dents there, but I just loved the patina on this for $4. Now, these aren't necessarily like things that I decorate. You can kind of see my decor behind me. But for $2, this little this little frog that holds your sponge at your sink. I love her eyelashes. And I've had 2 of these on the website and they both sold. So I know that this is gonna sell, and I picked it up for $2. This one isn't signed on the bottom. I did also get a flower frog, this teeny tiny guy, for $2. I like to collect them and make trees. So I do have 1 tree listed over on the website already. I really probably need to get another tree listed on the website, but you can basically stair stack them and then put a little ornament on top to make your tree. Now, I need your help on this piece because it just seemed fun to me with the glazed belt buckle on it. And then this is kind of like raw terracotta. The inside is glazed. It was $8, but I just thought this was a fun planter. So it must have been maybe $5 at the thrift store. It does have an Italy sticker on it, and it was already raised up a little bit. So I tried to like peel it a little bit to see if it would come off. And it's glued on there, stuck on there, adhered on there really, really well. So to me, that tells me that it is an original sticker, and I could not, Google image search gave me nothing. Like saying a planter with a belt on it, you know, in different ways, yielded me no results. So I'm very curious if you've seen something like this. Do you know anything about it? Tell me down in the comments. You know me, I love money boxes. I got that huge one in a recent haul. This is just what I call a normal shape. It doesn't have a key, but I sell these for $30 each, no matter the condition, because I like them all distressed. This one was $4, and it does have some junk in it that I don't want. There's a couple handles and just like random bits, so that'll all get thrown away. But I love making stacks of these, and I'll have to show you the one in my guest bedroom, but that may or may not happen this video. You can go and watch my guest bedroom haul if you want, but we have a girl staying with us this week, or for 2 weeks, from Copan, Mexico. So she is taken over the guest bedroom, so I probably won't be able to film in there while she is here, but it has been a great experience. I think she was a really good match for our family. And then here in a couple months, our daughter is going to get to go to Copan. It's kind of a sister school exchange program that they have. It's been a great experience. I've talked about how bows are really trending, and there was a bag for $4 of a bunch of bows, and I went ahead and got them. So This is a red, white, and blue one. It is a normal bow tie. It's not like the little front clip piece. And I don't know if it's old or new because it is still in the packaging. Another one that's in the packaging is this black one, and it is actually a clip. This red velvet one, which is the color I'm debating on painting my main bathroom, is beautiful. People will put those on, you can put them on the collars, the old antique collars, which I do have those listed on my website. You can put them on busts. So those are probably the main ways I've seen them. And then people are doing a lot of bows in their hair as well. So a polka dot one, this big blue one's a fun one. Now some of these have some staining and discoloration. I may or may not try and get out. And I'm not really sure. I might try and sell them as a bundle, or I might sell them individually. I really haven't decided. But for $4, I mean, that's like 50 cents each. It's probably less than 50 cents each. Then $4 on this little brass tray. Again, it's like a hammered edge one, just a good size. Put it on your dresser and put your watch or keys or your bow tie on it. Okay, so these folk art frames are not in perfect condition. They're missing some of their appliques. There's one applique that fell off that goes with this one, and there's one applique that goes with the other one, and you can tell because they're not exactly identical. But Abe in here looks super cute, and so I went ahead and got that one. And then this still has some like wallpaper stuck to it, so I don't know if it looks like it was applied to the board. I thought maybe it like peeled off when they took it off the wall or something. But Abe looks so good, and I like the style of frame. And then there's this one, and again, I have one of these applique pieces are gonna be able to go in it. Sorry, I got tons of lights going here. So they're both gonna be missing one unless I decide to marry them together somehow. But they have the nice old wood back, and these were $4 each. So $8, can't go wrong with a frame. So when I was doing my Christmas decor, I was so pissed at myself. I had a little teeny tiny stand like this, like my hand, and it held my nest, one of my nests. And trying to move things around to put the new TV up and, you know, trying to save myself time, I ended up dropping something, and this ended up breaking. Now, it was probably a fifth of the size of this one, maybe less, but these are actually kind of valuable. They're one carved out of one piece of wood. This one is a little bit different because, I don't know, can you see there's eyes on that? So there's eyes on each one of these, but this can be a plant stand, and I need some things to get my pots up off of the ground. And so for $6, I got this one because I've honestly never seen one this big. Now, here in the back, I got this ugly ass covered in hair stool, but I got it because it is beautiful wood detailing. I have a thing for stools. You'll see this one next to it with the velvet and needlework, and then the horns for the feet. Kind of looks like a mushroom to me, or a jellyfish. So this was $20, but it has the old springs in it, the old, what do you even call it? Burlap, crossing straps, I can't think. And then this is needlework that has a cross on it, or a crucifix on it, and it's also covered in hair. But I'm probably going to take this off. I'm gonna do a lot of cleanup to get the dog hair off, and then this is filled with horse's hair. So it's definitely old, and like I said, not only do I have that stool, I have some other like stools I don't even know what to do with, but I like the way they look. So $20, I went ahead and got this one. Somebody could always recover it, and I know I'm not the only person who likes it all destroyed like this. After the estate sale, which I don't go to too many estate sales, but after how everything kind of went down with the estate sale, I feel like I'm probably gonna do a blog post with some estate sale shopping tips. Because when I was standing in line, one of the girls introduced herself. She follows me on Instagram, and we know some of the same people. She had driven at least an hour, I don't even know how long it is, maybe an hour and a half to come to this estate sale. She got there at 9. She was the third person in line, and she only really came for one thing. And so as we were let into the house, she was like immediately, like after 2 minutes, I hear, "Bye, Brooke." And again, we're shoulder to shoulder. So I look, in a sea of people, and I see her. I'm like, you're leaving? And she's like, "Yeah, like the one thing that I wanted, it's gone." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I don't even think she said that at first. She just gave me the like shake her head, roll her eyes, like pissed off look. So anyway, it boils down to, this is what happened. So when she got there, she was really the second person in line at the house. But there was another couple parking their trailer in front of the house. And so she was like, "Well, technically I wasn't the second person here, they were. So you guys can be 2 and I'll be 3, not a big deal." Being nice. They were talking because we were all sitting there for like an hour before the guy came to give us our numbers. And I guess the guy asked her, the wife sat in the vehicle and the guy sat in line. And the guy asked her what she was wanting to get. And she told him, and he didn't even know what it was like used for. So they were probably, I'm going to say they were like 3 foot tall. Those, and I don't remember if they're Dutch cookie forms, like huge, like a size of a person, a kid. And this person had 2 or 3 of them hanging on the wall. And her whole business is related to food. She's written a book on food. She's done cookbooks. That's like her thing, right? And she told him. And guess what he went and got first when they got in the door? His wife and him split up, and he went right to those cookie forms and took them, even though he knew the girl that was behind him wanted them. He also knew that she was nice enough to let him ahead of him, which I wouldn't have done because he wasn't even out of his vehicle and she was. And then he got her to tell her what she wanted, and then he just took it. I would be so pissed. So she was very pissed and frustrated. And she apologized for venting to me. And I told her, "Hey, don't worry about it, because I would feel the same exact way. And honestly, I probably would lose sleep over the damn situation because I would be so pissed." So we both said, note to self, 1, you never tell anybody what you want, which is kind of funny because I never tell anybody, but I did tell somebody at that sale, the girl who was in front of me, but mainly because I know her. And she said, because when she first asked me what I was here for, I was like, "Oh, 3 things." And then she's like, "I'm not going to take them." She's like, "I don't really care what I get today. I'm just here," because she just does it for fun. And she works for an antique dealer that I know. So I told her, because she was like, "Well, I'll grab them for you if I get in there before you." And so anyway, so I did break my own rule, and I told somebody at the same sale. But, note to self, don't ever tell anybody what you're there for, because if the girl that I told was there for the same things as me, then she's gonna feel bad. Like if it was me, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm here for the same things. I'm sorry," like whatever, you know what I mean? Because I would feel bad, and that's just maybe how I am. But I would feel bad if I was before somebody and got what they really came for, because that's what I was really coming for too. But in this situation, the couple that took those cookie forms, there were 2 of them, even though only 1 stood in line. They got to be in front of this girl because she was just crazy nice. And she was there for one thing, and they had a whole trailer that they were just gonna buy a bunch. I feel super bad for her. And when we were going in, the wife was like, "And remember, everyone, just be nice." And then they went and took the one thing that lady came for. Anyway, so note to self, don't tell anybody what you want. And whoever is out of the car first and in line, that's your spot. It doesn't matter if 20 people were parking and you were a faster parker. So we get the numbers at 9. And I go ahead and go to a thrift store. I thought maybe I would just thrift the whole time. And then it dawned on me, like, I had been to the gym. I had dropped my kid off at physical therapy. While he was at physical therapy, I filled up gas and I got some groceries that we were eating and some medicine. Then I picked him up from physical therapy, took him to school, and I was at the thrift store, and it occurred to me I still had groceries in my car, and this was like the one heat wave day that we were gonna have in Iowa in January. I'm like, it's too hot to have my groceries out all day long. So I ran home 20 minutes, ran back 20 minutes, and then it was pretty much time for the sale. But I did find some good things at the thrift store right after getting my ticket at 9 o'clock. Here they are. This was one of the pieces that I got, and it is an awesome horse and cowboy painting. It is signed. It's in a great frame. There is a little bit of black right here, but I'm hoping I can get it out with an eraser. Here's kind of the size for you. So it's huge. I did pay, let's see, $20 for this, but I was completely fine with that. This says November 28th, 1983, I think. And there is a creative interior certificate here on the back as well. So I really don't care if this is old or new. I like it. I like it a lot. And then another piece I got, I don't know, it just called my name. It's not necessarily something I would normally pick up, but it is 223 of 1,000. And it says Country Serenity. So I didn't, really recognize it as being something in particular, but it is a P. Buckley Moss print, and it was only $10. And I just did a quick look of P. Buckley Moss things online, and they're like $150 or more. So I am super excited with this $10 purchase. This little sheet was giving a biography of her, and then it's also talking about the piece. Country Serenity was a 2003, and has the signature of authenticity. So it's an offset lithograph. So for less than $30, I got these two pieces at the thrift store before the estate sale. Now, I forgot to mention, total for all the things that I got at the estate sale was $100, which I thought was fine. I did go out thrifting after that, just to a couple places. I went to Animal Lifeline thrift store, which I put all of the places that I thrift down in the description box so that you can go shop there too. I didn't end up buying anything there. That was the place that had that tea leaf biscuit bowl that or sugar bowl that I couldn't decide on what to do. And then I went to Memory Lane Antiques, which is kind of like an antique mall. I don't typically go there because things are just more expensive than I can, flip or resell. But this little piece of art caught my eye, and of course it didn't have a price tag on it. And I looked around her booth, and I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to afford this, but the lady was right there, and it needs a price tag anyway for the next person. So I just told her, hey, this doesn't have a price tag on it. So she called in, and on the back of it, it says it actually says brought at an auction July 2, 1983, East 8th, paid $31 for it and another less attractive picture. At least it was from 1983. I'm gonna say it's older than that, but sometimes on these I can't tell if it's a reproduction or not. But I love the horse and dog, and so it ended up, they called and she only charged me $20 for it, so grab that. Then I went to St. Vincent de Paul, the one that I don't like as much because it is expensive. And it still is expensive, as you can see in the video clippings, but I did end up getting a few pieces anyway. And really, they were putting stuff out the whole time I was there. So I could have stayed and got more probably, but I was burnt out. I was ready to get home because I think I also stopped at a couple places that I didn't get anything. But this has made in Japan on it. These little hands. Everyone collects hands. So at $2.99, I grabbed that. Comps look like it would sell for about $30. I wasn't really sure about these wood sconces, but I don't know. Somebody I follow was talking about how popular sconces are. So these were $1.99 each. And I just think that they would look nice with a candle on the wall. And so I went ahead and grabbed them because, again, I thought there was enough profit margin. Oh, that's the other place I went. I went to the Picker Nose, which is another antique mall. I didn't end up getting anything. There was a couple things that I was kind of interested in, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. I think I was just like, I've spent plenty of money today, and like I've literally like thrifted every day this week. So it's like, slow your horse. Let's get some things listed before we buy more. So this little safety pin lamp was $3.99, which I thought was a great deal. It does work. I've only ever had the Christmas trees that are handmade like this. So at $3.99, I didn't even look it up. I know that it will sell for more than that just because it's homemade and it's so unique and it's like a neutral color. So loved that. And I got these bookends. So they look like inlay bookends. They were $9.99. They have the old felt on them. And the one thing I'm pissed off about with these is that they did get a little bit scratched in the bag. So St. Vincent de Paul has a rewards program, and then they also have where you put things in a bag, then you get a certain percentage off. And Brooke doesn't even know what the percentage is, but at this location, the girl was like, I have to show the camera that everything you got will fit in the bag. And I'm like, okay, none of the other St. Vincent de Pauls do that, but okay. So she wrapped the hands in paper so that they didn't break, but she didn't wrap anything else. And so the safety pin lamp rubbed all over this because she was trying to put it into the bag, which they fit in the bag super, super easy. But if you're gonna shove everything in the same bag for the sake of shoving it in the bag to prove that I get the discount, then wrap everything in paper. So I wish I would have been paying attention as she was doing that. I wasn't, because I was paying attention to the dang credit card machine that didn't want to work. The other thing that happened was one of these little candle holders popped out when she was putting it in the bag. So she's like, well, I'll just leave it in there separately. And I'm like, I think that's a great idea. And then instead of like saying anything, she just starts ranking on this one, which is in there securely, but she just kept trying to get it off. Anyway, it's stuck in there good, so she left it. But I'm like, what are you doing? I don't understand people sometimes. Not a big deal, but Brooke is just venting. So I want to say thank you for coming thrifting with me, checking out my estate sale haul and my thrift haul. I really hope you will click that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can get notified the next time a video comes out. And because I don't think that I mentioned it, all of these items will be listed over on the website at thejunkparlor.com. So if you are interested in purchasing anything, just head over there. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.